Welcome and thank you for joining in today. I'm Molly Goodwin and I'm with the Boston Renegades, and we have the pleasure of talking to two of our coaches from the staff today. I'd like to welcome John Johnson, our head coach and defensive coordinator, and Vern Crawford, our assistant head coach and offensive coordinator. Thanks, fellas, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
Let's start easy, Coach. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be coaching women's football?
Sure. So I've been coaching football for about 25 years, predominantly in the high school arena. Coached a little semi-pro for a while. But I really got in contact with women's football through a coworker. She was playing and was really excited. She had been to a bunch of the games I had coached and was like, hey, we could really use a really good coach to come out. And I was like, well, I never knew that ladies even played football. So I went to a practice and fell in love with it. I saw that there was a lot of really good athletes. The passion was there. But there was not a lot of instruction going on, and I felt like that was something I could, help improve. And so I wanted to be involved, and here we are, I don't know how many years later, and I'm still doing it.
Yeah. Well, we are appreciative. Coach Vern, you've been with us pretty much since the beginning.
Yes.
Way back even when I played.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with the Mass Mutiny, which was your first team.
So getting involved was two former players from the New England Patriots and myself, Derek Beasley, Robert Perriman. Those guys asked me to come help out at a practice that was going on inside a gymnasium, probably in Malden or somewhere like that. It was just an indoor facility. Everybody was just going to be working out, and I chose I was coaching at Curry College at the time. I've also said my brief history was also I've done high school. I played in the pros for a couple of years. I played some arena football. But just the opportunity, I was coaching college at the time at Curry College. But just, getting the opportunity to go out there and help out these young ladies. I've seen a lot of passion, like Coach said. At the time, it was like an overwhelming number. Because this number was huge, because I guess everything was kind of being merged as one team. So therefore it was a little tougher, and I felt like I could really help these guys out and help out these young ladies. Just trying to give them opportunity so many people gave me along the way. So that's kind of why I give back and decided to start coaching women also.
That's terrific. Now, you both have coached men and women, and I'm often asked, what's the difference between the two? Or, women really play, and do you use the same size ball? Is it the same rules? Is it the same field? Tell me what you see the differences are, or are they different between men's and women's
I don't
football?
see any difference right off the back. The only maybe a slight difference is that some of them haven't played as much as the young guy has played. But what they don't make up with that, they make up with talent and knowledge. And like I said, they're going to work, they're going to know their assignment. Some guys may get away with talent, not understanding the whole thing. But that whole aspect of the game, the ladies are a little more joyful to coach than some of the guys. Because like I said, they have the drive, they have the passion. Most of them are college athletes that we get already. So I just feel like, I coach them all the same. I don't do anything any different. As far as techniques, I teach them the same things I'll teach the guys.
Yeah.
So there's no difference.
I just want to add to that because the biggest thing to me, the difference is the enthusiasm, right? Typically, with the guys, every once in a while you'll get one or two players that will be super enthusiastic about getting coached, right? These ladies all want to get coached because they've never had that opportunity before. So that enthusiasm is a little different than you would see in the men's game. But it's one of the best parts about it, right? The athletes are the athletes. We got really good athletes here. Same with the men. But there's something about not being able to play a sport for a long time, and that energy that they put into it is something that's different. And that would be my input on that.
Yeah.
And also, some of these good ladies, we talk to these girls, these ladies, or women, we talk to these and we hear things more like, they want every rep.
Yeah.
Every rep to be perfect, just because they know they didn't get all that time. So their time is running out as things go. So I mean, that's the passion behind it.
Yeah, the sense of urgency definitely is.
And I just love it. That's what some of the feedback goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not play?
Maybe too much feedback.
Yeah.
A lot of feedback.
Yes, but we love it.
Well, that's good. We're all athletes, right? So,
Of course.
That's right.
Especially you.
yeah. Thanks, Coach, for the shout. Coach Johnson, you recently had the opportunity, actually the whole staff did, to meet the UConn football men's staff.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And they were kind enough to invite you down to join in on some of their meetings. Tell me a little bit about that experience and what that means to you guys as coaches and what that means for our organization and opportunities going forward.
I mean, that to me is big. I mean, to be invited to a meeting, a coaches meeting with another staff, Division I football staff, and quality program. And Coach Moore has been in the pros. He's done it all. And just, I mean, they welcomed us with open arms. We felt like we were on the staff. Yes. I mean, it was amazing. It was a great time. It was awesome just to see how they operated, how they, interacted with each other and how they did things. And what I came away with that whole thing saying, wow, they do things like we do. It was pretty interesting. But in terms of like how they treated us, that was just a great experience for us. We loved it. We hope the coaches loved us being there. I mean, it certainly felt like that. They were just really great hosts. And again, gave us access to everything there. We saw how they were doing things in and out of the building. And for our program, especially for our players, I think it's the next step, right? Like they're always talking about getting vision and having access that they haven't had. Well, this is it. I mean, some of the access we've had in that facility is unbelievable.
Yeah, and Vern, sort of to that point, we were able to hold a mini camp there recently too.
Yes.
And you played in the SEC, you played in the NFL, so you've been all over the place, but our players haven't and our staff hasn't. And to see their faces walking into just a 100% football facility, everything that you do there from walking in to changing to film to practice and the gym, the physical therapy facilities, everything is geared towards football.
Right.
And it was fun to see our players get that opportunity. And tell me a little bit more about what that opportunity was like for you.
Just the opportunity that a lot of them got just to get out there and compete at a great facility, and not only that, but just the cafeteria, the environment after the thing, even the game room. I mean, just the bonding things that was going on there. It's something that to strive for, because it's kind of like what you need. I hope one day that's the goal, is to have facilities like that where.
Can you imagine?
Team meeting rooms, bonding rooms, things like that. I mean, it was just awesome. I mean, I really can't say much more about, especially how Coach Moore took us in the office and talked to us and tried to show us different things from back in the 90s. From when he was in Atlanta.
And it's fun they have a woman on their staff. Grace, and she came out and spoke to the players too.
That's right. Awesome. Yeah, she don't get no better than her. So she, she let me just sit in the office the whole time. I was trying to wait on the guys to get out the meeting. So, me and her just sit there and we talked, and I talked with other coaches, and we just kind of just hung out the whole day. It was it was unbelievable.
It was like a geek session for football. If you're a football geek, that was the place to be, and that was just an awesome experience. And of course, we're two football geeks. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hopefully we get to do a lot more with UConn, and we are very appreciative of that. With that mini camp and the mini camp that we just did at New Balance, those are two opportunities that we've had to have back-to-back 2-a-day practices, where normally we are just Tuesday, Thursday nights because of everybody's work schedule. The ability to do those two things with world-class facilities, I think, has been tremendous. And Coach, can you speak to what you think that means for us as a team going into the new season, having had those experiences and those extra practices together?
Yeah, so I think, I know, right? It's a great opportunity to run our program the way we really envisioned running this program. And that's having, getting away for camp like the pros do. We're pro, and this is how we're doing it. So we're having these mini camps, these training camps sessions, and we're operating as if we are the Patriots, like we are the Huskies, and doing it the right way. And it's great for our players to have that opportunity. It does a couple things. It allows us to bond as a team. I mean, to create a championship atmosphere, you have to bond, right? And it's very hard to mimic that when you're going to practice for 2 hours in between of a work day.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard because you're in there,
Very
you're
true.
racing, you're hustling, busting to get there. Then you got to get your mind right, have practice, and now you're screaming back home to take care of the family or whatever else responsibilities you have at home. To be able to get away as a team is such an important aspect of the team building process because it allows us as coaches to, one, they get to know us a little bit better, more intimately, but more importantly, they get to know each other a little bit more intimately. And as you know, as a team, you have to know your teammates. You have to, you have to know who you're fighting with and who you're ready to go and go to battle with. And if you don't understand who they are and you don't really take that time or you don't have that time, it's really hard to develop true team chemistry.
Yeah.
You have to go through some struggles. Right, and the coach knows this from his training camp days. They're tough, right? They're tough for a reason. The coaches make them tough, right? And the reason why they're tough is to make the players have to bond and do stuff together, and they have to figure out some tough things together, right? So it's ultimately it's the best thing for us. It's been outstanding. We've had great facilities to do it in.
Yeah. Have you gotten good feedback from the players?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so, I mean, just the mantra and the piggyback off what Coach said, my mantra is always saying, it's not the best team, but the best team. And I believe that's what sets us apart from everybody else.
That's right.
We always talk about the road trips. The road trips is memorable.
Yeah.
This is what we do. And I was telling John that earlier that, basically, we are the best team. We don't always have to be the best team on, like, physically, this, that, and other, but we're the best team. From organization, from
all the
top
way
to
down.
bottom, all the way down.
All the way down.
We're the best team. That's what makes us. It's not so much the X and O's. We'll run through a wall from each other, so it's family.
It is.
It's a family environment.
Yeah.
We always preach that.
Yeah, this year we have one of the best general managers in the league. And
that's what I said
I want to
about
brag
that, too.
on Ben Brown for a minute.
Awesome.
Isn't he amazing?
He's
Yes.
amazing.
He is amazing.
Yes.
Don't tell him I said that.
Yes. Yeah, we can't tell that.
No, we
Hopefully he
can't.
doesn't watch this. But he's been in charge of our recruiting for the last several years.
Yes.
And, man, what a job he's done. And we've got another terrific recruiting class again this year. And of the time that we've been the Renegades, what I've seen is we're getting bigger, better, stronger, faster athletes.
Yes.
And you're seeing it at the NFL level. You're seeing it in the WNBA. You're seeing it in all sports that the athletes that are coming in are, they've played maybe one sport. They've been playing since they were little, but they're talented. And I'm wondering, what is your view on the new class that's coming in, or what are you seeing from the players that you are really liking? The competition.
I'll speak to just the recruiting aspect, and then I'll let Coach talk a little bit about the class in general. But recruiting is ultimately important. Right? If you look at any team that's had any success over time, it's been the ones that have been able to recruit, or in the pros, they're drafting players. Right? They're bringing their type of players in the building. In the college world, they're on the road recruiting that type of player into the building, right? Same thing with us. And I remember having a conversation with Ben when we first took this job and said, hey, we need to really focus on recruiting. We need to focus on this type of athlete. This is what we're looking for. These are the qualities that we're looking for offensively, defensively, in the trenches. These are the things we're trying to do. And he has done a fantastic job of getting us the athletes. And of course, this guy here knows how to mold them like the best of them. Yeah. And it's just been an amazing transformation of just seeing people come in that never had the skills in the world, but they may have been, unbelievable 5-star athletes in some other sport. Yeah. And then to come in here and to see that transformation, turning them into football players, has probably been, for me, more gratifying than winning. Yes. Because of just seeing how they've developed and how they've improved. It's been outstanding. It's been outstanding to see. But in terms of the class, and I'll just briefly say one thing, and I'll give it to Coach. The last few years, our rookie classes have come in, and it's been hard to figure out that they're rookies the way they've come in. And that hasn't always been the case, right? Like, we've come in and be like, oh, good, we got a lot of work to do today, right? It's going to be a rough one, right?
Yeah.
That's not what it's like anymore.
Right.
We're getting these, again, credit to Ben bringing folks in. And so these rookies are coming in, and they're instantly making impacts on our roster. And that's something that has been unique, especially the last few years.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to Coach on the more.
So basically,
detail.
I mean, the young girls that's coming in this year, I mean, they're awesome. I mean, they're very talented, high flyers. So I'm just happy to get the opportunity to coach them. And like I said, I mean, they are the future. So therefore, you got to coach them up even harder. And because some of the details aren't in them yet, but. They will. So we're looking at some of the, bigger, faster, stronger receivers. Looking for a lot of different things.
So the one thing is we joke about this a lot. We talk about football like we're like two football nerds really, but.
That's twice now you called yourself football geeks.
We are. We love it.
We talk about it.
We love it all the time. We'll talk to 4 a.m. talking about football.
Yes.
I've been there for that.
You have. But one of the things about the class, what's really unique and is cool to see, is like they come in and they don't know anything about football, right? And so they're learning that. But then they start understanding the Renegade standards and what that is, and that's a whole different thing. And like Coach said, they're trying to figure that one out because it's not something that you have to adapt to that. Because our standards are super, super high. Even for a perfectionist, they might be super high. So you're never really going to kind of get there, but we're always pushing to get there. So a lot of these rookies aren't used to that kind of standard, and that's probably the toughest thing, I think, for rookies. The standard, and then the tempo in which we practice.
Yeah.
Where I think that's the other shock for them. Like they're trying to learn something, but oh yeah, we're going to ask you to learn at 200 miles per hour. So those are very unique challenges for any rookie coming in. But like I said, these last few years, the rookie classes have been very, very impressive.
Yes.
Our mantra is that we get 1% better every day, every practice, every year. I would say our recruiting is one thing that has always been on the up and up. What are some other things that you're seeing this season that have been different from last season, or that you would continue to like to improve throughout the season?
You're asking me. I'm never happy about anything. I mean, he has to walk me off the ledge half the time. He's like, relax, it's all right, it's okay. But for me, it's just the constant grind to get better, right? It's the constant grind to improve your fundamentals. Right, it's all the things that every player in America doesn't want to do because it's the monotonous stuff that's not sexy. Right, it's the hard, it's the mundane, basic things that you take for granted all the time. But those are the foundation for everything you're doing. So the foundation and the fundamentals are so important. And a lot of players want to gravitate to other things that grab their interest, and those aren't the things. That's not the secret sauce, right? The other part is really improving your situational awareness, right? Understanding having a good football IQ is the other part of it, right? We want to have a good understanding of the why behind the what, and I think, players in general don't necessarily understand that. Sometimes they react, and we say here with the Renegades, we respond, we don't react, right? We're responding to situations. So having a higher football IQ, improving our fundamentals, being able to respond situationally, and every situation is going to require a different response, and that's why we practice the way we do, is to make sure that we get as many of those challenges in practice so that we can coach it up. So continuously doing those things and making our players feel uncomfortable is, I guess, what we like to do around here.
Yeah.
So,
where are you seeing the growth, Coach?
Well, I just feel like me just like pushing our veterans to make sure our vets stay on task. They've been around here a long time, so they kind of know the ins and outs. So I just want to always
cheat,
push
Coach.
them.
They cheat.
Well, we want to make sure that I cheat. So But I really love the way the last like 3 or 4 practices have been.
Yeah.
Where it's been a lot of great competition, and you start seeing we're almost game time.
Yeah.
It's getting
Yeah.
close to game time.
Yeah.
When you start to see old line waking up. Finally, they're pushing each other. You see the defense going back and forth at it. So it's just a great thing.
Chatting
for me.
out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I feel
chippiness.
like you can't go
always
to
a good
camp
thing.
if you've never been into like bickerings and people pushing and shoving, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Fighting for spots, right?
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's
It
great.
is.
Well, let's talk about our competition for a minute now. We will have DC twice on our schedule this year. We have Pittsburgh twice on our schedule. We have Detroit and Tampa. Give us your outlook on those teams and what we might expect throughout the season.
Well, yeah, we're gonna with those teams right off the bat. There's not a weak link with the group, right? I mean, you have obviously. Tampa Bay has probably been the most up-and-coming opponent we've had in the last few years in their development. I mean, they run similar to Pittsburgh when I look at the way that their front office and everything is.
They were trained by there are 2 women that played for the Patriots.
Oh, well, there you go. That explains
makes sense.
it. Well, that explains
Yeah.
it, right? So,
They're
because I'm looking at it, I'm like,
national
it reminds me a lot of Pittsburgh. So, and now hearing that, wow, there you go, I'm onto something, I think. Pittsburgh, we know who they are, right? They're the class of the league. We always, look forward to playing them because they're the best, one of the best in the league.
They set the standard.
They set the standard.
When we first started out.
They sure did. They sure did.
set
And I
the
remember
standard.
when I first
You
got the
remember when?
chance to meet Teresa Khan, their owner, I just said, thank you for, everything that you've done for women's football. And that was, I don't want to date myself, but it was almost 20 years ago.
It was.
And they're still here pushing the envelope. Yeah.
They really did. I mean, they had the whole sponsors. They had a whole nother team in the stands. They had doctors and massagers and everything else. And, I mean, it was crazy. I was like, wow, this is how it is. I didn't know. I mean, after going to Baltimore one time, you're just like, oh. No, but you like the standards, the DCs, just seeing the rival.
Yeah.
That's a instant rival game.
DC's DC. I mean, we always look forward to a DC game, right?
We understand what that's going to be. That's going to be a physical, backyard brawl type of war.
The kind we love.
Yes.
So the one thing I will say about Pittsburgh is that with rest in peace to
Franco.
Coach Franco Harris,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so playing him this year is going to be somewhat special because of that, right? Honoring him and what he's given to the game.
Absolutely.
So that is going to be something that's going to be special to my heart.
Yeah, and the league will be commemorating him throughout the season. So we'll have some nice tributes, but we will also, it will be, with our home game, we'll do some special things here.
Yeah.
And even when we're there, I'm sure that their team throughout the season will be doing some additional honors and such with his family. So that's good. Anything I'm missing? Anything else you guys would like to add about the season, or shout out to your family? Maybe?
Well, without them, nothing's possible, right? Like, I know my family's constantly on me about being better. I mean, Caden was at practice the other day, like, Dad, that's not how you do it. and then, of course, he's letting them run plays. So, Xbox, I think. Was it Xbox? Yeah. But, without the family, our family supporting us, then none of this is really possible, right? I mean, we're all trying to do things and break barriers. And to do that, we spend an inordinate amount of time doing that. And, like I said, we're talking football all the time. I'm at work and I'm talking about football, that kind of thing. So our families are, without them, we couldn't do this because they allow us the time to do it because it takes a lot of time. So I'd just like to say thank you, family, wherever you are, if you're watching. There you go.
You're right. It does take a lot of time. I'm up at all times of the night, working on bands, working on different things. Just trying to make sure everything's perfect. Just try to.
And we're on the road too, right?
Yep, everywhere. So I just don't want to let these ladies down. I don't want to let coaches down. I want to let you guys down. So I'm gonna always strive to be my best at all times. So that's all I know is how to do things the right way, and that's pretty much what I try to preach on others also. So.
Yeah, you do a good job of that, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, thank you both for coming in. It's been nice talking to you.
Well, this has been awesome. This is great being on the Molly Goodwin show.
Oh, this is awesome.
You know, like that. Boom.
Now I have to live with the two of you. For more information about the Renegades and to find out about our season, please come to our website at bostonrenegadesfootball.com. We look forward to seeing you. Our season opener is April 29th at Harry Delarusso Stadium. And thank you for joining in. Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.
That was awesome.